actually comical because your bitch, you just gotta wait and see.
Only bad gals on my team. Steady love, how them bad gals do it. Steady love, how them bad gals do it. Steady love, how them bad gals do it.
A story time of the time I caught my best friend sleeping and having sex with the guy I was talking to. But before we get started, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe because I'm trying to get to a high following, because when I do, I'm going to do a giveaway. Who doesn't like free shit? Tell your mom, tell your aunt, tell your uncle, tell your grandmama, tell your enemies, tell everyone to follow me, because once we get to 500, where I'm not going to aim for 1,000 yet. Once we get to 500 subscribers, I will be doing a mini giveaway. The details will be coming soon when we get closer, but until then, just know that you will be getting a chance to win free shit. Who doesn't like free stuff? So let's start off this way. So it was senior year. I was getting ready for prom and I needed a prom date. And the guy that my best friend was talking to, like, I have two best friends. We're gonna name one Veronica and the other one Jasmine. Veronica was talking to a guy. I can't think of a name. Like, I suck with this, but she was talking to a guy, and that guy had a best friend, and his name was what we're going to call William. So William was just got out of high school. So did Veronica's boy toy. Like, I mean, not really a boy toy because they actually did date, but I'm going to say boy toy because I can't think of a name. So he's boy toy. So boy toy was like, oh yeah, like, I have a best friend, his name's William, he's, you know, he's Puerto Rican and Jamaican, and you guys know, I was like, yo, he probably fine as fuck. Mind you, he was fine, but after what he did to me, I don't think he's attractive. Veronica showed me pictures of William, and I was like, oh my gosh, William is like my dream guy. Like, yes, sign me up, all right? So we exchanged, I don't know if they gave me his number or I think we exchanged our numbers to each other, but I think I was the one to text first. We are texting, he sends me pictures of himself, I send pictures of myself, and he's like, oh, you're cute, this, that, and the third, to my face, right? And I'm like, oh, like, you know, it's going so well, da da da, and we continue to text and everything. Like, we're texting every day, good morning, good night, blah 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 blah. Then he asked me, like, oh, are you going to prom? I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go to prom. But I think he thought that I was in prom in Elizabeth, because I used to, like, how I met my two best friends was we both went to school together in Elizabeth, but then senior year I had to move because the school was trying to hold me back because I moved around so much that they said I didn't have enough credits. So instead of being held back for a year, I decided to just leave and go to a different school, which I hated. I mean, I liked it, you don't get me wrong, but it wasn't Elizabeth. Like, Elizabeth, the school was like so comical, you know. But anyway, that's a different story for another day. So he's like, oh, are you going to prom? I was like, yeah, I'm going to prom. I actually need a date for the one in Piscataway. And he was like, Piscataway? And I was like, yeah, like the one in Piscataway. He was like, oh, I thought you were going to the one in Elizabeth. And I was like, no, like, I used to go to the school in Elizabeth, but I don't anymore because I moved. And he was like, oh, okay. Well, I wanted to go to the one in Elizabeth because I never went. And I was just like, oh, okay. Like, you know, right then and there too as well, I should have realized, like, he really wasn't really interested in me. He was just using me to get where he wanted to be. Veronica and Boy Toy were actually going to go to prom together. So they had to, like, go dress shopping for her. Veronica wanted me to go with her. And I was like, okay, I guess. And with Boy Toy was William. And I was just like, okay, like, awesome. So we're hanging out, like, they're going shopping and me and him are talking, and Then he was just like, oh, like, he was just, you know, running game, typical fuckboy shit, right? And so then after we were done, and I was like, oh, I'm hungry, let's get something to eat, mind you. And where did we go? Oh, actually, before we went to go eat, we met up with my now current best friend and Jasmine. And we went to go get this alcoholic drink. We got the drinks, and we decided to go get something to eat. So we went to go get something to eat, and we were sitting there, we were eating, and everyone was like a little buzzed. But Jasmine, so she was drunk. She decided that, you know, since she already tried to make a pass at everybody that's at the damn table, she decided to make a pass at William. So William, being the fuckboy that he is, he started entertaining it. Me, I felt something in my gut going on, but I decided no, he wouldn't do that because I'm right here, you know? So he started drinking some more of the drink or whatever, and I decided to like go next to him and have his lay his head on my chest, and I just rub his hair, you know, so he could be like, hello, bitch, I'm here. Anyways, so we decided to take a race. We're gonna just fast forward a little bit. He actually decided to get a room, right? And he was like, oh, let's get a room, so that way we can hang out and drink, blah, blah, blah. My now current best friend, he was like, oh, I'm down, like, I have a bottle in the car. So then we were like, all right, bet, let's have a competition, because I like racing. I like watching people race. Like, I be in the passenger seat. We get in the car, we have a race there. Then the race was whoever was the last one, they had to pay. So the last one to get, we were the first ones there. For Boy Toy Veronica were the second ones there, and my current best friend and Jasmine were the last ones, therefore they had to pay. We get one room, we all start drinking, then we turn out the lights. I hear Jasmine and William kissing, and I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna just leave before I like blow up, right? So me and my current best friend are outside and he's like upset. So we are sitting there, we're talking, and we're just like, yo, this fucking sucks, this, that, and the third. And he's just like, I'd rather her just be happy. And I'm like, no, I'd rather him be with me. So I go back in, I hear moaning, and I'm just like, oh, fuck this shit. So I grab my shit, I get in the car of Boy Toy, and I'm just crying, right? So then William, once he finishes, he comes out, and he is like, oh, you know, like, you never made it clear whether you liked me or not. And like, I'm like, yes the fuck I did. Like, I told you, and I'm not gonna sit here and kiss your fucking ass because I have to make it known that I like you. And I was just like, are you fucking kidding me? So I was enraged. Like, I was so angry. I got out the car and I started chasing him. I was like, come here, get your fucking ass here, come here. And he's like, yo, get your girl, get your girl. He's like, Veronica, get your girl. And Veronica's drunk, so she's just looking like back and forth inside the car, right? And Boy Toy is like, Kadia, calm down. Kadia, calm down. I'm like, no, fuck this nigga. He playing with my emotions, and I'm sick of it. Okay? I am done. Oh my God. I was so pissed. Like, I was screaming. And like, people that were, it was like a little motel, so they were like watching us. So I figured they were calling the cops because I was like screaming at the top of my lungs, threatening I was going to kill him and everything. And he's just like, yo, get your girl. She don't know who I am. I'm Jamaican. And I'm looking at him like, Jamaican or not, I'm gonna still kill your ass. Come here. So I'm chasing him around the car, and he's like, look, I'm sorry. And I'm like, no, fuck you. You're gonna die. Like, I was psycho. Like, oh my God, now that I think about it, like, I was psycho. And then like, Veronica is still like lost his shit, like drunk as fuck, like, Kadi, no. Kadi, come on. And then she starts laughing. And I'm like, oh my God, you're not even taking this seriously. So then he runs and he gets in his car and he locks the door, right? And I'm just like, oh, you're a fucking bitch. First off, you're gonna fuck my best friend, and then when I confront you and try to fight you, instead of being a fucking man, you go and run like a little bitch. Like, no. So I'm like, fuck this nigga. You know what? I shouldn't even be mad at him because at the end of the day, we weren't together. The person I should be mad at is Jasmine. So my crazy drunk, half drunk ass goes and runs up the hill back into the hotel. It's not really a hotel, it's a motel. And I'm knocking on the door. Meanwhile, my now current best friend, he runs into the room to make sure she's okay. I go in, I knock on the door, and it was like a scene out of the movie now that I think about it. He opens the door, I push him out the way, and I get on top of her, and I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? I thought you were supposed to be my best friend. Like, you over here sleeping with the guy that I fucking like. That we're not together. But you gonna do that? Like, you don't do that. Like, girl code, you know? She's like crying, and I was like, stop fucking crying. There's no reason for you to be crying. So I was about to punch her. And then my now current best friend grabbed my wrist, and I'm like, get the fuck off of me. And he's like, you're not gonna hit her, not in my watch. And I'm like, dude, she just did you and I both dirty, and you still gotta defend this bitch? And he's like, yes, like, you know, because, you know, she's going through a lot and there's something you don't know. And I'm like, what is it that I don't know? Mind you, Veronica is like trailing behind me. She took a little minute to get up to me because she's drunk, and she's just like stumbling. And she just stumbles into the room and she's like, what's going on? I was like, this bitch, I was about to hit her. And she's like, I have fucking cancer. And it got quiet. Like, we're all looking like, what? She's like, there, I said it, okay? I have cancer, da 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 da. And like, I'm just sitting there and I look at her and I'm like, that's not still a valid reason to fuck somebody. Like, oh, you're gonna die, so I'm gonna go fuck. You know, like, time, like, it was just so, there was so many emotions running high. And she's just like, there, I said it. And so I start crying. And I'm like, I can't deal with this shit, yo. So I go back to Boy Toy's car. And I'm like, he's like, oh, what's wrong? And I'm like, she has cancer and she fucked my man. And meanwhile, the guy that, you know, William, he's in the car and he's like, feels bad, right? And so I'm like, I want to go home. I just want to go home. So I get in the car, we all leave, except for Jasmine and my now current best friend. Since they bought the place for the night, they decided to sleep there. So it's just Veronica, Boy Toy are in his car, and William and I are in his car, in William's car. So we're driving to Veronica's house because like I said, I live in Piscataway. So on the weekends, I would go to either Veronica's house or Jasmine's house. And we start driving and we get to Elizabeth, and we're by the school, by Halsey. And I was just like, you know what? I don't even want to be in the car with this nigga. Like, I am so pissed. So he locked the door, but his car was like fucked up. So if I pressed like another button, it would unlock. So I pressed the button, I got out. And he's like, Kadi, get back in the car. I'm like, no, fuck you. I don't want to be in the car with you. And my best friend's like, Kadi, get in the car. And I'm like, no, fuck everything. And then Boy Toy, I can edit that up. Boy Toy, he goes and he's like, Kadi, get in the car, come on. And then William's all like, get in the car, there's rapists out here. And I'm sitting here like, nigga, there's no rapists by the school, okay? Like, I know how to get home from here. It's like, mind you, where the school is not the safest neighborhood, but it's not where rapists are. I just thought he was just being fucking retarded. Like, he's not even from here, he's from Union. And so then he goes, I start walking because the light's red, and so then they start driving and he corners me and he's like, I cannot have this happen, you need to get in the car, I care about you and bullshit and blah blah blah, and I want, you know, I would feel bad if like someone took you, let me just take you home, you don't have to talk to me, you don't have to do nothing, just get in the car. And I go, okay. I'm like, now that I think about it, I'm like, bitch, you were so fucking retarded. So he goes, so I get back in William's car and I start driving. He starts driving to Veronica's house and I'm crying and I'm saying how I hate him and how, like, why would you do this to me? Being a hormonal little teenage bitch. And so then after that, we get out the car and we get inside Veronica's house. But Veronica and Boy Toy were like making out. They were saying their goodbyes. Me, I just got out the fucking car and just left. I didn't say no bye, no nothing. I was like, fuck this nigga. Like, it was just a rough ass night. And it really was a rough ass night. And I hope you enjoy. Wow, I sound so ghetto. Anyways, I hope that you guys enjoyed this story time.